Hi, Carl here for ProAV TV at the Canon stand at NAB 2019, talking to Tim about Canon's success at the Oscars this year. So Tim, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for coming.
It's a big year for Canon at the Oscars, right?
It was huge. Actually, couldn't have been bigger. There's no way actually to be bigger than what we did this year. So there were 5 films nominated in the category for Oscar category for documentaries. And even though we won in category last year and we won in the category this year, before the Oscars even started, we knew we were going to win because all 5 films were shot on Canon. Ultimately, the one that won, I'd like to do some research to find out if that's been done before.
Yeah.
Because for one manufacturer to dominate an entire category, especially a category like documentaries, which has become such an important category for filmmakers.
And you'd also think that almost the camera choice is less important in the documentary world, that they sort of just grab whatever they had access to and go, you know.
You know what it
but
used to be?
But it doesn't seem.
No, it used to be. Just about anything was forgivable in a doc.
Yeah.
It was all about the content. You know, if you got a shot of OJ saying, yeah, I did it, you had a documentary,
Exactly.
no matter what you shot it on. Things have changed a little bit, though. There's an expectation to images now that has risen. And I think it rose kind of because of the 5D Mark IIs, when that started to change things. Yeah. When people could make, within a reasonable price point, a really good image. And we have a whole generation of people that have never seen sort of a rough image, sort of an archival image. So there's an expectation that everything we watch, whether it's on a phone, on Netflix, on Amazon, on broadcast, have a certain amount of quality with it. And now we have cameras that can do that for documentary filmmakers. And docs, look, in the cinematic world, you usually have more money than time, and in the doc world you have more time than money. And so dollar figures figure into that. And our cameras come in at a very reasonable price point, and we have lots of lenses that are very accessible price-wise. So we've sort of fit exactly where that niche is to say, here's your image quality, and without breaking the bank. I mean, I think that RBG, which is the one right here, took almost a year to shoot. We can't rent cameras for a year, and buying them gets very expensive. So it became very practical for to shoot on 300 Mark IIs on that one with EOS lenses. Jimmy Chin on Free Solo, the one that actually won, was a little bit more upscale. He had a lot of gear on that one. It was a very short documentary to shoot because it was about a 4-hour climb. So even though it took a little more than 4 hours to shoot it, it wasn't a long shoot window for that one. So it worked out great for him to have better quality or higher, more expensive glass. So, and he had a little of everything on that one. So great movie. Have you seen it?
I haven't, no.
Go see it.
To be honest, I might watch it on the plane back.
You know, it's really unique in terms of documentaries because it has suspense built into it.
Oh, it
Lots of
looks like
suspense.
It, yeah.
You know, even I was sitting there watching it sort of nervous, and I know the guy. So I know he didn't fall.
You know you survived.
Yeah, he's going to live. I get it. But yeah, it's really well done. Beautiful doc. And it's impressed even some of the most hardest people to impress. I've had cinematographers that I know come up and say, I saw this film, Free Solo. And these are the people that make these big, expensive movies. And they were blown away. He did an incredible job. Just an incredible job. So
it is absolutely top of my list of things to get to watch.
Go see it. You can rent it. You can watch it tonight instead of going out and partying in Vegas. So, and then we'll talk tomorrow. But yeah, no, Doc World, Canon is killing it. In such a short period of time. We're about 7 years into this business, really, which is an amazing time to sit back and say we've dominated an entire category at the Academy Awards. I was with Canon for a long time, but back in '97, there was a film called Spellbound, which was shot on standard def XL1s, which was a mini DV tape thing that we did back then, and that was the first nomination we got. Jeffrey Blitz shot that one back in '97 right out of school. Jeffrey's gone on to have a real solid career, directed a lot of great stuff that you would know, but his first one was called Spellbound, and he got an Academy Award nomination. And I still remember getting that phone call saying, hey, we got this nomination. And it's like, wow, these cameras weren't really, they were wedding photographers. They
Probably
were
not what you had in mind at all.
No, but boy, a light went on and said, look, if we can start with this, we can get to this. And now we are a major player in cinema.
What is it, do you think, about the Canon lineup that means that has happened? What is the main thing that documentary filmmakers are looking to Canon because Canon does it better than the rest?
I think, honest to be fair, for documentary filmmakers, price always plays into it. And we have SLRs that are reasonable. We're using an SLR here, and it makes perfect sense. But we also have $35,000 cameras as well. So we run the gamut there. But I think the big thing in general you're going to hear is color science. Yeah. Because from our SLRs to our 700 full frame, Canon's color science is spectacular. They have a beautiful image. with any Canon camera, you have a beautiful image. You may not have the same
with very little work, which I think is a big thing.
With very little, or you can shoot and log and do a lot of work on it because you've got so much depth and color. But really, just out of the box in the dock, you can get a beautiful image. The other thing is low light performance. In a dock world, low light performance is critical because you're not running around with tons of lights. Here, we're shooting with whatever we have. So low light performance and performance in low light is key. So if the interview has to take place in a crowded bar because you're doing a story on a musician, you got what you got. And you need that low light performance, and you still have to have an acceptable image. If you go back to docks 30 years ago, when they shot in low light, it was an awful image. It was the dialogue was so much more important because you had to hear what they were saying, and the images were almost unwatchable. Now the combination is fine. Audio is good. The lighting is more than acceptable. But yeah, low light. Canon just kills it in low light.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
Have a safe trip home.